Hello and welcome to this week's tutorial about Final Cut Pro and editing in Final Cut Pro. So the first thing you need to do is download the footage from the Student Apps folder as shown in the previous video. Once you've done that, you'll need to open up Final Cut Pro, which looks something like this. If you can't find it, go to the search bar at the top and type in Final Cut Pro, and if you click enter it'll come up. Once you've opened that up, you should have something like this. Now you might have something in this box here, in which case right click, close library. So I'm going to start a new library. So here's one that I made earlier, and I'm just going to click choose. Now that I've done that, I need to create a new project, and I'll just call this test tutorial. So you'll see that it opens up this timeline here, which is where we're going to edit all of our footage. In this top box here is where we import all of our media. So if you click this little arrow, that'll allow you to import any footage that you have. So I'm going to go to the footage, the horror scene that I've got you to download, and I'm holding down Shift and I'm going to import all of that. So you can see we've got all this footage here. Now if you click S on your keypad, you can skim through like that, scroll through all the footage. Now I'm just going to show you how to make a basic edit. So here's where we play back our footage, and that'll play back from here, but it will also play back from this timeline here. You can see that there's some data here, so this is telling us which frame we're looking at. So I can tell you that at the moment we're currently looking at 1 minute, 2 seconds and 15 frames. Now that might sound like useless information at the moment, but there might be times where you have to find another clip on your timeline. So it's worth noting that that's there. You'll see these audio levels as well. So if you notice, as you scroll through the footage and you can hear it playing back, that the levels are also going up and down as well. So to create a basic edit, and by the way yours might be something like this, if it's like that just click on the list view, which is just here. So you can still scroll through it, but you might want to use this list view so you can see which scene you're editing. If you can't see all of the information, you can drag it out like that as well. So we can see that this is scene 1, camera A. So I've clicked on that footage, and now I'm just going to scroll along. I'm going to go for this last take. So she comes round this corner and pops her head out, looks around, and then she runs off. So I know that it's around about there, but you might need to play it back. So to play back, you click either the play button here, or you can click the button on your keypad, the spacebar. Okay, so that's the point that I want, something like that. So if I scroll it back to there, I'm going to make a cut here. So I want to tell the edit to make a cut in. And to do that, I click I on the keyboard. And you can see that yellow box around the footage has now shrunk. I don't want him saying action, so I've just stopped it there. I'm going to put another in point in. So I click I. Okay, using my spacebar to stop that, I'm just going to stop at this point, and now I need to cut out. So I don't want to see the footage after this point. I need to make a cut here. So I click O on the keypad. And now I've told it that I wanted a cut in to say this is where I want my cut to start, and a cut out because that's where I want my cut to end. And once I've done that, I can now drag that down to the timeline, and I've made a very basic, I'm going to click OK, a very basic edit. And of course you could carry on doing that with all the rest of these scenes, in and out and drag down. So I and O on your keyboard and drag down. So that's a basic edit. To make a trim to this, so let's say we've put it on the timeline but we actually don't want this bit of her opening her eyes. So you move this by dragging it along this little cursor here, and then you can use this blade tool, and that'll allow you to split the clip in two. So now you can see we've got two clips, and all I did with that is I selected the blade tool and I just clicked over the point it was highlighting to make the cut. So if I go back to this select tool, and now I highlight the other clip that I don't want, so let's say it's this one, and I click backspace. And if you don't know what the backspace is on the keyboard, if you just look at the button that looks like an enter button, but it's not as long as the enter button, it's an arrow facing left. If I click that, that'll delete that, and now we've trimmed the shot. And that really is basic editing. All you have to do now is watch through these scenes, put an in point and out point, drag it down, and keep doing that to put together a basic edit of the scene. Now, I'd suggest looking at the script as well, which is just in that folder as well. So I'll just show you where that is. I'll go back one. It is in there somewhere, it might be on my notes somewhere. So you should have a script like this which gives you a rundown of what's happening in the story. So yours will be in the student apps folder. If you're not sure where that is, just put your hand up and I'll show you where that is. So now you can see that we start off down a dark hallway. So the first shot you need to find, if I open it, is a shot down a dark hallway and cut together your scene there. Happy editing!